All right, what's next? Oh, he's already going.
What's next is an update to the story about Apple trackers. What do they call them? AirTags being used to steal people's cars. You could only steal half of people's cars if you're using an iPhone, but now we can do it if you have a Android too. I think Peter's gonna do this update. Not so critical.
Oh no. No. Oh dear. See, now last week, Jon got caught out because he hadn't actually reviewed one of the articles that he suggested. I'm in the same situation now. I have read the headline, and I'll read it out for those people who are listening on Apple Podcasts and other audio-only things. If Mike will put it back on the screen. Thank you. Yes. Apple releases Tracker Detect Android app to identify AirTags, other Find My enabled trackers. Mm-hmm. Basically, it's an Android app that lets you see AirTags around you.
Can we talk about this title for a second? Holy shit!
It's a bit weird, isn't it?
This thing, yeah. Basically, there's an Android app that locates AirTags near you. Wow. Yeah. I just wrote that article. ZDNet, -10 points.
Yeah.
You're like this Slytherin of articles, right? Of news sources right now.
That title. Hang on, say it in one second. Apple releases Tracker Detect.
Yeah, because you have to say it all in one, right? Apple releases Tracker Detect Android app to identify
AirTags. And other Find My enabled trackers. Oh God, because Find My is a word, and it's Find My enabled. It's
right,
really weird.
But
and that they don't use.
But what we. Yes, Mike.
Like joint silence there. Okay.
Just waiting.
Waiting.
What
were you going to say, Mike?
What I was going to say was, as we spoke about what we spoke about last week regarding this, was that my fear was how this kind of maybe a couple of Apple engineers high up in the product product ladder were listening to the Not So Critical Update podcast on their drive to work, and they're like, "Holy shit, these guys are onto something." Only Apple devices can find these things. We're in big trouble if Not So Critical Update becomes even bigger, right? That's what happened.
I think I heard we're the most popular tech news show on the internet, maybe even the first.
Yes. No, definitely the first and the biggest.
Yeah. I don't know about the biggest, but certainly the most popular.
100% the most popular.
Yeah.
So they
Let's not exaggerate.
Thanks to our show, Apple rushed. So thankfully, Apple's pushed out an Android app where still it's not enough. I shouldn't have to download an application to be like, is your shitty technology not so shitty? Is your technology tracking me, following me home? Like, you know what? It kind of feels like, I don't know. It feels very strange to me that I'd have to download this.
But you download it to know that they're not tracking you by downloading an app that's tracking
That's very strange. That's very, very strange.
Interesting.
I wonder what the privacy policy is of that application. The terms and conditions. You download this app, so you now are part of the Apple AirTag network, and we will use you to track shit. You don't know that. You don't know that. I wouldn't put it past them,
You know what? I wouldn't either. Although the purported reason for this existing is so that you can tell if there are AirTags around you which have been disconnected from their owners. So if you're worried about being stalked or having your car stolen at a future date, you can actually check to see whether. One of the differences, by the way, about the Android app is that it won't do it passively. You actually have to open the app and actively scan around.
Wait, that makes it way worse.
Yeah.
Why would I even? No, I'm not happy about this. Actually,
why does that make it
useless?
Worse?
Because that means that every time I get into my car, right now, if I drive a Tesla or something fancy, never mind, not a Tesla. Teslas are not fancy. If I get into my Porsche, okay, and
look at him, Mr. Millennial.
Do you have
Teslas aren't fancy. What's fancy these days, then?
I just said it.
What? Into your
a Porsche.
Oh, a Porsche. Oh, we've gone retro. Okay, Porsches.
That's a good call. I'm on board.
They used to be. They're classics.
I think they're a pretty cool car. Cars. So I get into my sweet ride. You know, the first thing I do, because I run Android, because fuck Apple, is open the app. Any AirTags around me? Like, no. You know, that's not what that's supposed to be.
Yeah,
that's not how this is supposed to be at all. Like, I don't know. I'm not very happy about this.
Use it too. Like the whole point of it is for that it's passive, and because it's not meant for you to interact with it. It's meant for other people to interact with your you know where your tracker, your AirTag is if you've got it on you.
If you have one, right.
Yeah, it's all look, the one thing I will say for this is that it does plug a gap in especially people who are in abusive relationships and that kind of thing. There was a situation where people who were concerned about their partners or other people stalking them, or you know, installing keyloggers on their phone, or slipping AirTags into their bags. It does give them the option of actually trying to check whether that's happening or not. So there is one solid benefit.
So is that becoming like the primary use case for AirTags?
No, but there's always been a side concern for a lot of people, and there's some groups who I'm a member of some of these groups, and it's horrible to think about. So
it's a totally valid concern, and this application is not enough, not nearly enough.
I agree. It could actually. The one thing I wonder though is it because of a limitation in the way that Android works? Is this a thing that you can't have something actively scanning if it's not in the foreground of your device?
No. You can give permissions for
messages just fine. I was going to say, like, I feel like background services. What do we know? What AirTag is it? NFC? Is that what AirTag is using? Like a mix of maybe Bluetooth and NFC? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Also, the active scanning aspect of it is interesting because the idea that you could, you know, because most of these, what do we call it? These active scanning things, like the hacker things you see in TV shows, it's not really just active scanning. It's sort of just saying, well, hey, I can. It's not like they're receiving signals. It's not like they're sending out signals to everywhere around them. It's actually just noticing that signals are being broadcast. So it's a sort of passive
intercepting, right?
Yeah, exactly. So this active scanning thing sounds a bit like it's actually kind of, you know, going through the broadcasts. Yeah, the bands. Thank you. Yeah. It sounds
I hadn't
kind of
thought
hackery.
of this before, and all that's very serious, and I'm glad we covered it. But as we're talking about this now for the second time, it occurs to me that AirTags could be great merch giveaways at like trade shows, because then you can know
you're so right.
where your customers are going home to, like what bars they're hanging out in when they're not at the trade show.
Oh my God, Mike! Of course, you're great.
We could like,
yes, that would be a great, but it would be a massive privacy violation.
That would be awesome.
Would it? They're willingly accepting these AirTags.
So and you're only finding them.
It's their fault that you now know where they live.
It is their fault. It is.
They've already accepted.
No, I actually believe. What store was it that used near field scanning? What was it? It was basically tracking you around a grocery store, I think, thanks to your cell phone.
Oh, did we do a story about like Lowe's? Oh no, that was
Amazon.
Video cameras.
Amazon, the Amazon basketless or shopper staffless stores where you go in and you scan your hand thing.
Amazon Go, I think. Amazon Go.
Amazon Go, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they exist. Yeah, they exist.
Yeah, sure. I'll give you my biometric information just so I can walk around without having to check out my goods. Yeah. Okay.
Actually, at a conference, it would make sense because then if somebody's carrying your AirTag and you walked by like a TV screen at the venue, then you could have your ad pop up.
You want
because they've already expressed interest
in Minority Report, don't you? Where we have
awesome.
Hey, Mike. How you doing? I saw you ran out of toilet paper last night. Okay. Do you want 100%. That really heavy stuff you got last time? Because I noticed that you were going for a bit more in the last couple of weeks.
The convenience of something like that, Peter, is enticing.
It's kind of on the surface level, but when you dig a tiny bit deeper, It's
course.
horrifying.
It is.
Absolutely
But
horrifying.
like, if this data, if it was kind of neutered in a way, I think it would be really cool. Like your automated vacuum and floor cleaning system ran out of juice, or like whatever,
Yeah.
like bags.
Don't smart refrigerators do that now?
Yeah, they try to.
They can refill themselves.
Tell you when
place
you need
orders
milk
for you. Well, that's a Silicon Valley. You're
is that what I thought? I thought that was an
yeah,
actual thing.
yeah.
Is that not true?
No, it is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Because Silicon Valley was like a documentary about tech startups, right?
real life.
Yeah.
Of real life.
Yeah.
But we're just a couple of steps away from utopia.
Well,
it's gonna
this
be
is an ongoing meme or like a topic or trope that I see on Twitter all the time, because I follow a bunch of like privacy engineers and privacy academics, and there's a meme that gets posted in various forms, and it's like every tech utopian's dream is basically a horrendous dystopian nightmare. We're already there.
Or
every time
for a privacy engineer.
Every time someone goes, "Hey, it'd be so cool if I could get like toilet paper automatically delivered to me when I just had my last shit for the day," like it would. And it's really, if you just have a look at how that might actually work, it's just no, that sucks. That's terrible.
See, that's where you go wrong. That's the problem, Peter. You got to just.
But
stop
I think
at the
that there's
surface.
a way, Peter. There's a way to do where both are right? Like,
I don't know if there is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. How though?
Yeah, how? I don't see it either.
Yeah,
I think that if we can, so currently the problem is that it tracks you, right? But it knows also way more about you, like, than it should, and that can be abused by people. If there is sufficient,
are we still talking about AirTags or just privacy in general?
Well, now we've just really we're just off the rails.
I don't know if we've been on topic for a single story so far.
No, like, that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it a talk show. It's flowing,
yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Like the road to being where my toilet paper goes to get delivered, while I'm automatically, getting new toilet paper shipped to my house.
It's gonna be great.
To my house. Sorry.
Okay.
Mike is just nirvana, just pure.
How do I get into that advertising?
Imagining this. Yeah, exactly.
This is so horrible. I don't know how you could...
This would like remove advertising. This would be just purely
just in fact, you just directly connect your credit card to Amazon, and it will automatically. The advertising wouldn't be needed anymore. It would just sell you the things that it thinks you need when you need.
You don't even worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
So now we're just talking about idiocracy.
Basically, yeah.
All right, cool.
Well, I think
you're into that.
I think idiocracy just took a wrong turn. Because if you can empower your I was about to say users. I'm slowly turning into Mike. Maybe this talk show isn't so great after all. I watched this really funny comedy, like satire bit. It was made in Israel and it was in Hebrew, so I can't share it, but it was so funny, where these recruiters are basically explaining to like little kids that they're recruiting who are good at math. They're like explaining to them how there's two people on Earth. There's users and there's winners. Okay. The winners are the ones that work in high tech and technology. They work in tech. The users is the rest, right? So like, this is literally Mike. Right, there's people that work.
Was that the end of the story? Like, I thought that was that makes sense. Yeah, what's the that was?
Well, that's where the whole users thing came from.
Yeah, no,
I'm there. I'm already there. Yeah. So I think there's a way to do it. I'm not going to go further into it.
Okay.
Don't even remember what article. AirTags.
If there's one thing that we can agree on, it's that we want YouTube to do a good job of tracking people who might be interested in this show and get it in front of them no matter where they are on the internet. And the best way to make that happen is for anybody who's watching to help us out. with a
Yeah.
subscription and
Like
a
and
like.
The
subscribe.
thing is, though,
share
that
it.
nobody's going to get this far without clicking subscribe. Are they really? And I just think it's tacky to keep bringing it up every time, Mike.
Bring it up
No,
every
I don't
time.
think
We
it's- I
barely
don't think
ever
it's
bring it
tacky.
up. I think
I think it's very important to mention liking, subscribing, clicking the little bell to alert you of when our next episode
I think at
gets
this time
released.
of year, it's the thing. Like, if you care at all,
Hey kids, what are you going to get in your stocking this year?
a subscription to Not So Critical Update.
I'm sorry, you were blocking tracking, so you don't get anything, Jimmy.
Fine.
But
Oh,
All right,
you
so
get cold.
so for the people who are concerned about tracking, also like and subscribe, but share it directly. Then you don't have to worry about the tracking. See, I can
By the way,
compromise,
did
Peter.
you know? Did you
Wow.
know that if you right-click on the video, you can copy the URL and send it to all your friends and family?
Exactly.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
oh my god!
All right.
What kind of Christmas present is that?
Thanks for watching this overly long video about AirTags.